Hey everybody, you are tuning into the Canary the Canary Cry News Talk live stream, free stream. Thanks for being here, folks. We got a great show today, and you're here, so we're here together, and that's awesome. Make sure to go to canarycry.party to receive all of the useful, helpful, and essential links to your Canary Cry experience. You can find links to our community groups like the Canary Cry community, which is our off Facebook, no algorithm social media experience. Also, the Discord channel is over there. All sorts of good stuff, man. It's a good time. Also, you should join our newsletter. This is an important aspect to keeping in touch, especially as we continue to be deplatformed for speaking the truth, baby. The first people to know when we are kicked off of a platform and or if we arrive on a new one are the people on the newsletter. Don't worry, we don't send out superfluous emails. It's mainly just to alert you that we are going live, and in addition, all of the sources to every episode are included in that email. So every source you hear on the show is at your fingertips right there in your email box. So, all right, let's get this party started, folks. Stay hydrated. Let's go.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is October 19th, 2022. We are live to tape, episode 549, and today, Hybrid Flesh. And signing on from somewhere in the multiverse, it is I, Basil Dazzle, your best buddy Basil.
At least you're here. And my name is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, a.k.a. the Cabana Boy, live from California to serve you a podcast that brings you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And today's immersion phenomenon is a phrase that's been in my head the last few days.
Uh-oh.
So I just want to let it out, just document it. Obvious, can't even say it, obvious to saints, oblivious to sinners.
Ooh.
And by sinners, I mean those whose names are not written in the book of life. I don't know who that is. I'm not claiming to know who that is. But from a sociological perspective, one could argue that, as things of biblical prophecy begin to look like they are being ready to be fulfilled, it'll be really obvious to people paying attention the saints, maybe,
Right.
but completely oblivious to the people participating in the entire system there. So anyway, yeah.
Indubitably. You know what I'm enjoying, and I don't know if this has been happening all along or not, but I'm seeing the chat as they tune into the show. They start sounding off on where they're, tuning in from.
Yeah.
We got South Florida, we got Toronto, Canada, we got people coming in from everywhere. That's very fun, Gons. As well as myself coming in to the show from an undisclosed secret location.
Yeah, our producers tuning in have more faith in protection of the Lord's, good shield than you do.
Don't jump on this propaganda, Gons. Don't even start with me. He's
Where are
trying
you? What does your face look like?
He's trying to win you over, folks, and he doesn't need to pander like that. Let me give you, speaking of pandering, let me give you a rundown.
Here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Watch them.
That's right. So here you go. Here's the rundown. We're going to start out with our lead stories, of course. Some of the aftermath of the storm over there in Florida. Not just the damage caused by the storm, but a new pandemic of flesh-eating bacteria, what the officials are saying about that, and what could this possibly be? Of course, we will be checking in with FLIPPY, our favorite robot arm, and again, exploring not just how robots themselves are going to be affecting our lives, but how robots in general are guiding the pathway into the future. Who's controlling who now, folks? Then we'll be touching base with Russia, Ukraine, and Elon. A lot of hullabaloo about that trifecta recently, and it continues to become more and more entangled as people try to figure out what's going on with those three. Then, of course, we'll be checking in with COVID and the WACCINE, and this time, folks, we will be saying farewell to YouTube. This is too hot for YouTube. And this is from science.org. And they are exploring some of the more recent lab experiments involving COVID-19. So if you want to make sure to get that part of the show, make sure to head to canarycry.party, find a different outlet for the show, and you can finish it off live. For instance, on Rumble or D Live or what's the new one we have? Rockfin, that's right. So yes, go there. And then, of course, we'll be exploring the days of Noah. We have the first baby in the world to be selected after being gene screened before birth. We will learn all about that little baby before the show is over. But first, Guns, we've got our opening stories.
A pandemic special.
Climate change.
Yeah. Story
Climate change, huh?
Well, it's climate change and pandemic. It's one and the same.
Fun.
So this is CBSNews.com, and the headline here: Florida county sees spike in deadly infections caused by flesh-eating bacteria. Flesh-eating in parentheses. After Hurricane Ian. Wow. CBS News going with the flesh-eating bacteria in the headline. Let's hear a little bit about it. Recovery efforts are underway in southwestern Florida as communities face a range of new challenges in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian, along with the property damage that rendered homes inhabitable and displaced thousands of residents. People across the state are grappling with environmental hazards that could pose serious health risks or health threats. In Lee County, where Ian made landfall on September 28th as a Category 4 hurricane, officials say storm surges and subsequent flooding led to a spike in potentially dangerous or deadly infections caused by Vibrio vulnificus, a species of bacteria found in warm, brackish water that typically comes in contact with humans through raw or undercooked seafood. It can also enter the body through cuts and other open wounds and can cause severe skin infections that may be life-threatening, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. There it is. The CDC at it again. It's the next scary thing happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vibrio.
This is an interesting one because we've been hearing about this flesh-eating bacteria for about 9 months, I want to say.
Well, in Florida in particular seems to have something going around that makes people want to eat flesh.
Yeah, I mean,
going back a few years,
that's a
actually.
long time call back to the bath salts incident. Yeah, but this flesh-eating bacteria, this started popping up just about a year ago when the sort of COVID hysteria first showed signs of calming down. It was one of the first kind of like, don't
rest on your laurels. You got flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, like don't get too relaxed, folks, because if COVID doesn't get you, the flesh-eating bacteria will. But it's and it was like a child who entered a swamp got it, and then somebody got it at a beach in Texas or something.
Right.
But yeah, of course, it's during these natural disasters that there's lots of opportunities to come in contact with exotic new, microbes. And, it's another chance for Joe Biden's famous, hurricane advice, which is the best way to survive a hurricane. Get vaccinated.
Yeah. He was right. He's been right about a lot. He's like a mini Alex Jones, this Joe Biden guy.
Isn't that weird?
The article continues here. Vibrio vulnificus is informally described as a flesh-eating bacteria because primary infections of the skin can devolve quickly into necrotizing fasciitis. They're fascists. A rare condition that causes tissue breakdown and at times requires amputation to prevent further spread. And they need more people with amputations to build the cyborg class, Oh,
jeez. I mean, that is an interesting, if you want to get freaky deaky with it, that is an interesting way to go. Yeah, you've got a terrible disease that makes amputation rates go up, right. And then you swoop in with the answer.
Yeah.
Cyborg arms.
Yeah. Well, the technology's there. Might as well. The infection itself, whether acquired through food or direct contact with contaminated water, quote, has the potential to cause severe illness or death, the Lee County Health Department said in a news release posted on October 3rd. Then it goes into some more detail that we don't necessarily have to. Oh, this one part I do want to mention. Quote, sewage spills, like those caused from Hurricane Ian, may increase bacteria levels. The statement continued. As the post-storm situation evolves, individuals should take precautions against infection and illness caused by Vibrio vulnificus. So the sewage surveillance aspect of this is also to be noted, because it's the sewage spills after the storm that's causing this rise of flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could see somebody scoffing at, only 6 people have died. Well, remember, the monkeypox was declared a public health emergency when I believe it was 6 people got it in the U.S.
6. They got to get that 3 6s in a row if they really want to roll out.
Keep an eye out for the last 6. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. And of course, we're still keeping our producers over there in Florida in our prayers because, the what's the word? I don't know. The damage, the ongoing impact of the storm, of course, isn't over. The news coverage may be over for us who are not there, but of course, there's a long road ahead before things even start to look, go back to normal over there. Yeah. Okay.
So, just keep in mind, folks, these deadly flesh-eating bacteria,
it will kill.
And this really is, the reason why I did the pandemic special and climate change. It truly is the a template, you can say, for a climate related pandemic just in general. It's just like, the climate, we didn't address climate change. So the climate does its thing. And then we have this bacteria unleashed and we have another pandemic and it's all connected, So yeah, get your shots. So there you go.
Okay. Well, Gons, it is the middle of the week. No matter where you are, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hey guys, know what
what day it is? It's Wednesday. Time for the Canary Cry News Talk. Yeehaw!
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
That's right. It is Wednesday, and I don't have any. I was looking around, Gons, as we are letting these jingles play and we prepare for the next segment. I was looking at my list of stories, and I realized Friday is going to have quite the lineup. There are some things I forgot to bring to this show, and I'm not going to add them. I'm not going to make it a surprise, game time decision for you. But Friday's going to be chock-a-block full of some pretty incredible stories. So make sure to check in on Friday, folks.
Chocks and blocks.
Anything exciting going on for you over there?
No, not necessarily. Although I do want to share with everybody something that happened over the weekend. I shared about the pumpkin gun, right?
Ah, yes.
But this is another thing that happened. We were visiting my mother-in-law, and our 5-year-old boy. No, I'm sorry. He's 2-year-old boy. Oh no, my brain. Our 2-year-old son, Keizo, knocked over the television set.
Uh-oh.
And created the psychedelic, I don't know, design on the TV screen.
Yeah, the broken TV.
The broken
trip.
TV psychedelic thing. And all that to say, producers need help. Producers, I need to buy my mother-in-law a new TV.
Putting the call out for the mother-in-law's television broken. Well, I'm glad that Keizo didn't have the TV.
Well, see, that's what went through my mind.
Or anything.
Yeah, that's what went through my mind because, of course, my wife is much more cautious about these things, and she had let me know like years ago. She's like, "Oh, there's like all these babies that die from falling TVs every year." And I was like, "Really?"
Right, that and dressers.
Yeah, and I was looking it up. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, there is." Like you can find any stat and freak out about it. So that was my first thought. But then also my first thought was, yeah, my boy can handle it. It's not coming off the wall. It's not, a huge TV. Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
But yeah.
What kind of TV are we talking about here? We're talking about
like a Samsung,
like an 80-incher or
it's
like
not that
a
big. No,
45-incher.
It's like a 47 or something. 47.
Okay,
49.
all right. That's nothing.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, she might need to wear her glasses to see it from the couch, but totally doable.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I don't think I had. Oh, I sound better, and my internet connection is better.
Yes. We found Starlink.
Yes,
it was in Ukraine.
Change.
You're in Ukraine.
I made a change of the itinerary, and instead of finding, sometimes I like to find the kind of weird places to stay that have some character to them, or
history.
Some history. When it comes to the hotels or whatever, the bed and breakfasts or the weird places. Some of them are purported to be haunted. I've never been haunted. The last place I was staying that had the horrible internet connection, the next morning they're like, "Did you hear any ghosts up there?" I'm like, "No, I didn't, but your Wi-Fi really needs some work." And they're like, "Oh, that's weird. People are usually like haunted by that room." I'm like, "Huh, yeah, I
it's
didn't
probably
notice."
because they can't connect to the internet. They're forced to listen to the sounds of the building.
A hauntingly poor internet connection, and they're like, "Yeah, our maids won't even." We have to send 2 maids in at a time because they're too scared. I'm like, okay, just get a bigger router, please, for next time.
That's how they get you. So those are your choices: corporate chains for hotels or haunted ancient temples. Where
exactly.
Who knows what happened?
I'm at a particularly sort of sterilized, boring hotel chain that has no soul whatsoever. And these types of places have their own kind of quality to them. It's kind of nice to not have I don't know, too much history or character to a place. I feel like I can just rest easy knowing that my internet connection will work. So I'm enjoying that very much.
Good.
But I will be home soon, so that's
Yay.
something to look forward to. I should be home by Monday's show.
All right. Good.
Whee! All right. And with that, we have some executive producers to thank.
Executive producers.
That's right, folks. We are on the value for value model, which means we take no corporate money whatsoever. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? It's almost like it shouldn't be possible to do a show as often or as jam-packed or as, frankly, as long as this show is. Shouldn't be possible without the invasion of corporate money with their grasping, clawing little fingers trying to control the message and or shut us down entirely. But because of our iron will to reject all advertising dollars, affiliate codes, platform partnerships, everything, we are able to do precisely what we're called to do. And we're only able to do that because people who get value from this show understand that it only continues if they put value back in. And that can be in the form of your time, your talent, or your treasure. But the executive producers, we call them producers, of course, because that's what they are. But the executive producers come in with an extra helping of generosity and value to keep the show going, and we thank them very much for that. So today, we have one executive producer as of now. Gons, are you ready to thank them?
Yes.
That executive producer is Sir Captain Redbeard, Pirate King of the D-Moochers.
All right. Thank you, Sir Captain Redbeard. Good to see you.
Indeed. Glad to have you back, Sir Captain Redbeard, which means we got to demooch him.
You've been demooched.
That's right. All you soon-to-be producers out there, maybe you haven't produced the show yet and you've been thinking about it. Well, when you do produce the show, you will get demooched, which will put you under the loving and faithful leadership of Sir Captain Redbeard, Pirate King of the D-Moochers. And he comes in with $222.22. Thank you very much, Sir Captain Redbeard.
Thank you. Very generous.
Yes, very generous, and is a nice sigh of relief coming through the line on this side here. The note, here's a note from Captain Redbeard. A note. It says, loved Monday's show. It was chaotic, but funny, and good having Basil back. Don't stress about it too much, lads, and keep up the efforts. Oh, I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to read it in your pirate.
I gotta do the Sir Captain Redbeard voice.
Yeah.
Arr, loved Monday's show. It was chaotic but funny and good having Basil back. Arr, don't stress about it too much, lads. Every time. Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh. Mute.
Oh, that one triggered a cascade of coughs. Don't stress about it too much, lads, and keep up the efforts. I'm going to have to figure out how Patreon works because PayPal looks real sus.
We agree.
Indeed. We've had a few people pull their PayPal funding and send us notes. They've mentioned, like, I'm not doing PayPal anymore, so let us know how we can do it. We are having a bit of an issue, though. We kind of need you guys to suggest the platforms that you're willing to use, because there are a lot of platforms out there of varying sort of reliability. Mm-hmm. But if there is a payment platform that you producers prefer, please send us an email about that.
How about gold?
It's tough because PayPal owns like a bunch of the other ones, so the same
their tentacles
kind of
are deep.
rules will apply. But if anybody out there has any ideas, send that along to us as well. And we would prefer you did not entirely pull your support until we find one of those, but we understand we are not the most important people in the world. I know, believe it or not. But anywho, all that to say, thank you, Sir Captain Redbeard, Pirate King of the Demoochers, for being the executive producer of this show.
Where'd you find this?
All right.
That's right. And if anybody else out there would like to produce the show, there's still time. All you got to do is head on over to canarycryradio.com/support.
canarycryradio.com/support.
Indeed. And I think that's it. I think it's time. Is there anything else? No. Let's go to Flippy.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
All right, folks, it's time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We talk about Flippy so we can explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways the robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. Of course, if you've been listening to the Flippy updates for a while now, you understand it's not just about robots and their new talents and the new ways that they can put us in the ground, but also about how we're coming to this point within, the advent of robotics.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the proliferation of robots. That it seems to be that we are no longer guiding their trajectory. In fact, we've seen how the very existence and placement of robots throughout society is not answering a need, but sort of creating the roadmap for the sort of human societal development. I don't know a better way to put it, or more of a metaphor, but the roles seem to have flipped in a way. Now, this is coming from Yahoo.com, Yahoo Finance to be particular, and being mirrored from Business Insider. The headline is, warehouse giants like Amazon and others are desperate for more robots, but human workers worry they make the job more dangerous.
Filthy humans, get out of the way, let the robots take over.
Yeah, and it gives a bit of a breakdown on robots. Well, here's just they sort of set the scene like this. As a new workday dawns in the warehouse, workers take their places around the floor to start their shifts. So too do their mechanical counterparts. Robots roll away from the charging docks where they've been sleeping all night, receive their first instructions about the day's responsibilities, and get to work. And then it goes on a bit of a history about, robots becoming sort of commonplace in Amazon warehouses, a bit of a history even reaching back to the 1960s. And it mentions this company called Zebra Technologies, and they are sort of a leader in the industry, having worked with Amazon to, help integrate some robots into the whole process, which we're all used to now. And I'm going to start at about the fifth paragraph, Guns. Zebra projected that in the next 5 years, nearly all warehouses would employ some form of robot automation to keep from being swallowed by a tidal wave of online orders. And with all that automation comes questions about whether the robots actually save workers time or just put them under more pressure, in addition to more injury risk. And remember this paragraph because it kind of kind of gives away the punchline way here at the top. Jim Lawton, Zebra's vice president and general manager of robotics automation, told Insider some of his company's clients wanted to skip a pilot program and just get the robots into their buildings. Quote, I've had somebody say to me, I don't even care about the return on investment anymore, he said, adding that customers said they couldn't meet orders and needed help. So he's referring to warehouses not even bothering to try to test the robots in the real world, don't even care about the return on investment, really these business fundamentals for making a big shift in your business structure. They don't even care. They just want the robots in there.
I'm for the robots.
Yeah, which is just historically, just like a really good situation when you're putting dangerous, automated, autonomous killing machines in warehouses in the workplace around other humans. You don't even care how effective they are or how profitable they are. You're just trying to fill your warehouse with automation. Historically, certainly that couldn't be a problem in the future, in the past or now the future.
Yeah, the part that jumped out at me for sure was the part where it said that I don't even care about the return on investment. Because that really just shows like, the money is not even the issue. It's really just, we just want robots.
Well, they can't even operate there. And this is all part of the problem. Their needs are so great. Again, not for profit, just to keep operating.
Going. Yeah.
They cannot keep going without more robots. And so again, you kind of see how the robots are setting the pace. The pace is such that they don't even care about the money factor. They can't even keep up without more robots. Yeah. I'm going to skip down about 3 more paragraphs to the subheadline. As automation rises, so do the number of reported warehouse injuries. You might think that with robots fulfilling more of the manual labor, especially carrying heavy loads, humans would get injured less often. Though correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation, multiple reports have found that injury rates in Amazon warehouses have increased as more of its warehouses have become automated. Then in parentheses, the retail giant says the rates have increased because of more accurate reporting. Oh, sure.
No, these robots have been hurting people, the same amount of people for years. It's just the surveillance apparatus is a little bit better now.
It's just counting them now. We used to not count the robo injuries, but now, sure, whatever you say. Then it tells a story about an employee who was injured because of the fault of a robot, which I will skip, although I pray the best for him. Then it says, looking back, Gosvener, who was the employee who got injured, says it's clear why the rates of automation and warehouse injuries appear to be rising hand in hand. It's not so much that robots are running into humans and causing mayhem, he said, but rather a consequence of what the robots' arrival portends, an accelerating, ever more unforgiving pace of work and workplace culture.
Yeah.
And that's the key right there, is even the introduction of a few little robots, adding productivity, shortening work times, or shortening, the time between a task given and a task completed. They don't take breaks. They don't have sick days. They don't have, all these sorts of things. It's simply the existence of these robots in the workplace is causing a danger to employees, not because of, collisions, but because the robots are setting a standard that is impossible for humans to keep up with. And when humans are trying to keep up with the pace of the robots, or rather the pace expected by their bosses, and their bosses being influenced by the pace of robots, that's when they're getting hurt. And we've seen them get exhausted. We've seen them skip bathroom breaks. We've seen, especially Amazon employees, use bags and bottles instead of toilets, and just trying to keep up with the ever more harsh, frenetic quotas that are almost literally being set by robots.
Yeah.
A manager sees how fast something could be done by a robot, and then that becomes the standard, and then it's up to the human worker to keep up. And that's the real danger. So I think this is a wonderful example of kind of the X factor, the phantom danger of these robots. Not that we're, arming them with machetes and guns and stuff like that,
Well,
because
some
we are
people
doing that. Oh, we certainly are doing that.
in Oakland.
But on a broader scale, they are setting a standard that humans cannot meet, and that is the basis for the idea that humans will become obsolete. Not because humans can't keep up with human stuff, it's that humans can't keep up with the pace set by the robots. And I think this might be, by the numbers, the most deadly aspect of robots in the workplace.
Yeah, I would agree. And in any team or corporate environment, there are always those who set the example. Lead by example is a common thing you hear, and especially like sports teams and stuff, where there's one guy who sets the tone.
Right.
Sometimes they call him the head of the snake, ironically enough.
Right.
And so when automation comes in, when robots come in and they have this unforgiving, relentless work ethic, or the appearance of work ethic, then humans are going to be weeded out because we're slow. And it's been the theme of the robotic takeover. But maybe giving those robots some kind of a sympathetic response when they pummel someone would be a good feature, just to humanize them a little bit. Like, I'm sorry, I just am so dedicated to my work, and then carry on, as they chop off your leg or something as they go by.
Well, like I said, I think that getting your leg chopped off is like the least dangerous thing about them at this point, but that might make us feel better.
That's what I'm saying.
Agree.
The emotional and the motivational part, they can become motivational speakers if they inherently, they obviously perform better, but instead of
I have an article for you coming up
putting
for
humans
Friday.
down, they could be like, do better, Basil. I believe in you. More podcasts, please.
Yeah, I think that's good insight, Gons. Thank you.
Speaking
there you
of
go.
Insight.
Thank you, everybody. That's your Flippy update for the day.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
Fight for Ukraine. New world order.
Oh, this is also Elon.
You are already sort of a cybernetic symbiote. Neural nets are taking over from regular programming. So you are connected.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with Starlink, which you tried to connect to at Burning Man. I think we know what was happening.
Mm-hmm. Didn't work.
RMX.news. Poland has funded over half of the Starlink terminals for Ukraine. It's all in Antarctica and Ukraine. That's why they couldn't get one to you.
I was wondering what the funding was. These billionaires, it's a funny thing with billionaires. They can afford to give things away for free, but they almost never do.
No, they don't want to incentivize you to become lazy slugs, sitting around on the internet.
You are you've got a direct pipeline to the lizard people propaganda today, don't you? This is like Grandpappy always said. It's easy to become a billionaire. It's hard to stay a billionaire.
Yeah, it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Exactly.
The Starlink terminals created by Elon Musk's firm SpaceX enables the Ukrainian army and civilians to use the internet. Out of the 20,000 of these terminals being used in Ukraine, 11,700 of them were purchased by Poland. The terminals help the Ukrainian military conduct surveillance and communicate. The systems are also used by civil society organizations and infrastructure operators. They are connected to satellites, enabling the Ukrainians to bypass any attacks on their own internet infrastructure that Russia might launch. Oh, Russia. Just after the start of the war, Musk's company granted access to Starlink for the Ukrainian authorities. However, in reality, 95% of the 20,000 terminals were funded from U.S., Polish, and British sources, as acknowledged by SpaceX in its communications with the Pentagon. These governments have also financed around 30% of the internet connection costs for the terminals. The cost per unit averages around $4,500 per month. According to the Polish government, Poland bought 11,700 Starlink terminals, 5,000 of which were purchased by Polish fuel giant PKN Orlen. Do you think that's a data operative as well? Data gathering operative?
I hadn't thought about it.
Polish
but yeah.
fuel company buying up some Starlinks there.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's we've broken that down before. The Starlink being just sort of a secret weapon when it comes to data gathering, data control, the gathering of the new oil, the resource, the national resource that is big data. And it is certainly a wonderful way to encourage a nation state to pay your company billions of dollars in sort of a faux philanthropic endeavor when they can make up for it on the back end with all the big data, not just that they could sell, but also, for intelligence purposes.
Yeah. The Ukrainians are now asking SpaceX for an additional 6,200 terminals and around 500 new terminals every month to replace those which on average the Russians managed to destroy in that time. Oh, the Russians are destroying them. SpaceX wants the Pentagon to fund this bill, which would come to $380 million, according to Musk. The Starlink terminals are using up to 100 times more in data transmission compared to domestic use.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Makes sense.
And then it goes into just a couple sentences about Musk and his controversy with Ukraine and the Twitter thing and all that kind of stuff. But in conjunction with this, the NewsTimes.com reported a few days ago, officials, Musk seeks U.S. funds for Ukraine satellite network. I know this article we just read mentioned it, but just nice to see in print. The Defense Department has gotten a request from SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk to take over funding for his satellite network that has provided crucial battlefield communications for Ukrainian military forces since almost the beginning of its war with Russia, U.S. officials said Friday. So a couple angles to this. You have Elon kind of jumping on the train of funding the war kind of thing. If you're going to fund the war, buy my product, the military industrial complex. I have a great service to offer, but
right.
Also kind of, stepping back a little bit from all that, it's kind of interesting that the tensions in general in the 21st century here, as 2022, war in Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine, the whole deal, and deploying this oligarch, this American oligarch. I guess technically he's an American citizen now, right? So American oligarch to, have his technology be used in this time of war almost feels like that problem, reaction, solution type of thing. He's been working on Starlink for a long time, but the use case, is it just the internet? If it's just the internet, it's like, okay, well, we got all kinds of options. But if it's during a time of war, then we need, more robust public-private partnerships with the government and corporations, and we need to help the people. So I just think it's interesting to see this entire thing be fairly transparent. I think in the past, corporations that help out the government weren't as transparent at the time. What's the example? IBM during World War II and all that stuff.
Right.
Now it's just like, yeah, let's make it happen. And Elon's all about it. He's making money from the government, which a lot of his money's from the government anyway. So,
right.
It's just one of those stories that you inherently, maybe you've even seen it around, but for mostly mainstream articles to start picking up on it and just being like, yeah, the Defense Department, they want us to fund Starlink for Elon over there in Ukraine. It's just kind of like, all right, well, I guess we know which direction this is going.
I have a question, and maybe I missed it. Has Poland been paying for the Starlink the whole time, or did Poland step in when the Defense Department didn't pick up the slack?
I think Poland has been doing it for a while, and then now at this point they're asking for more. Poland, which is a SpaceX promise to fund it as a Ukraine. So yeah, so they were sending it to Ukraine. The Polish bought it for the Ukrainians, and now Ukraine is asking SpaceX for more. They're kind of like, oh, we like this. We like this product. Give us more. And then Musk is like, well, we need more money.
Yeah,
Let's go to the money printer.
Yeah. It is interesting because originally, when it was reported in the mainstream, it was reported as if Elon was sort of doing it as a charity, like he was just sending it over out of his own pocket. You know,
he's the peace man.
Such a good guy.
The Prince of Peace.
And of course,
with Twitter polls.
Almost immediately after that, there was another round of Elon is the right-wing terrorist,
right,
Antichrist. Or
and
something.
they really slap him around, huh? He's the hero 1 minute, and then he's the
very suspicious. It always ends up working in his favor, doesn't it?
That is interesting.
Although it may not always work in his favor, let's hop over and carry some water for Putin. This is
boy.
From
boy.
RT, Russia Today, some alleged Russian state media headline. Elon Musk discovers Ukrainian kill list. He's discovered it. That's nice. It's kind of a weird way to put that. Elon Musk discovers Ukrainian kill list. Elon Musk has expressed concern over a controversial website, Mirotvorets. Okay, which lists supposed enemies of Ukraine, amid claims that his own name briefly appeared on the site following his threat to cut funding for Starlink satellite internet services. That's weird. Cut funding. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah. See, isn't that interesting?
It's a weird.
We just talked about where the funding was coming from.
Yeah. The system is known to be connected to the state apparatus in Kiev. The system. I think they're talking about the Mirotvorets, the website that has the kill list, is known to be connected to the state apparatus in Kiev. Quote, is this list real? What's the URL? The SpaceX CEO tweeted in response to journalist Ava Bartlett, who shared a viral screenshot on Friday that claims to show his name added to the notorious database. Quote, I've been speaking and writing about this list for years after being placed on it in 2019. But now that Musk is on it, after Roger Waters and others, perhaps the peacemaker list might itself be killed, Bartlett wrote. Musk's name was not on the list as of Saturday, and it remains unclear whether or not it appeared on Mirotvorets even briefly. According to some reports, his profile was swiftly scrubbed from the database, while Ukrainian activists claimed the picture was fake and called it a Russian provocation. Many of Musk's followers were surprised to find out that he had never heard of Mirotvorets before and bombarded him with examples of prominent public figures on the database, some already marked as liquidated. Ooh. Musk said it was concerning after checking with Wikipedia that the list does indeed exist and has been allowed to remain online since 2014. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Well, how is this list allowed to remain online? It's a literal kill list.
Yeah, well, see, this is the interesting thing about Elon. He's able to garner from some people some kind of, especially sort of the fringy people that are already marginalized by the system. He's able to kind of pander to them and gain their
he walks this line so perfectly, which is why he's sort of a suspicious figure. Of course, many people are under the impression that he's a billionaire. He's an elite. He is an elite. Let's not forget that. He is an elite.
I thought he wants to restore Twitter and bring back Trump.
No. He's
part of the red wave.
He's playing his part brilliantly, but remember, he is not on your side. Mirotvorets, which means peacemaker, is a supposedly independent database of individuals who the anonymous moderators consider to be threats to Ukrainian national security. The site denies that it is a kill list. Rather, it claims to be a source of information for law enforcement agencies and special services about pro-Russian terrorists, separatists, and war criminals, among others. It allegedly has links to Ukraine's interior ministry. Mirotvorets gained notoriety in 2015. Then writer and historian Oles Buzina and politician Oleg Kalashnikov were assassinated in Ukraine after their profiles appeared on the website. In 2016, EU officials and the journalist groups condemned Mirotvorets for leaking data on more than 4,000 members of the media.
Doesn't this sound kind of like its own QAnon over there?
little bit. I see
Not
what
exactly, but sort of this intel independent anonymous op that is supposed to be protecting sort of the nation's
targeting
interests
in the name of national security. Kind of linked, but not really officially to like insiders. Yeah, it's got a bit of a kind of a Q feel to it. Human rights activists discovered that the website features the personal details of 327 children, prompting the Russian authorities to share their concerns over this huge injustice with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. The website has published personal details, including names, addresses, photos, social media pages of children, the youngest of whom is not even 10 years old. According to the head of the Foundation for the Fight Against Repression. The allegations that Musk briefly appeared on the kill list have been making the rounds on social media for the past 2 days, following reports that he sought to cut off free Starlink services for Ukraine unless the Pentagon agreed to cover his company's losses. On Saturday, Musk made an abrupt U-turn, saying, "The heck with it. We'll just keep funding Ukraine government for free." Okay. I mean, that's what everybody else is doing, apparently.
Yeah, but hey, wait a minute. We're doing that now, Elon. Yeah. We pay taxes. That's what we're doing.
We're all funding the government for free. I mean, that's very interesting. Again, in that Elon way, even being put on a Ukrainian kill list seems to work to his advantage in some way or another. Just adding another chapter to the drama that is Elon Musk.
Yeah, he seems to, again, garner the sympathy of more of your freedom-fighting, independent, libertarian-minded folks, and at the same time is making deals with the Department of Defense, or trying to anyway.
Sure.
To fund his projects for.
He's let no crisis go to waste. I mean, remember that he's on the kill list because he was telling Ukraine that they should make a peace deal with Russia.
Right.
So he's sort of this anti-war. Why are we supporting Ukraine? Well, I guess I'll send them some Starlink, but as long as Poland pays for it. Now they're being mean to me because I told them to have peace talks, and now I'm on a kill list. Okay, awesome. Well, I guess I'll just keep giving you internet. It's a very interesting, again, going to the chess game that is not just the war, but is sort of the life and theatrics of an American oligarch, aka billionaire businessman.
Yeah. Yep. And just to kind of wrap it up here, I did hear, just as a side note, Chamath Palihapitiya, he's the Canadian-American venture capitalist. I think he's a billionaire. He was mentioning the other day that the reason why all this nuke talk, with Russia and Putin and then the threats of nuclear war and World War III, the reason why is because they are trying to maintain the economic sort of reset and keeping rates up and trying to, keep the economy suppressed all around the world so that we don't result in a nuclear conflict. So all the nations are like, we can't afford it. We can't afford to, we can't afford it. We got to figure out help our own people kind of thing, which to me is very suspicious that he would say that. It's like, oh, okay. So it's just a money thing. It's just a monetary purpose.
Right. Exactly.
So,
it's just very strange. And we just got to remember not to be fooled by it. It's easy to get sucked into the narrative as it gets presented and rolled out for us.
Yeah. No, because it does, the absurdity becomes really obvious. And then anyone who speaks any sense, you tend to get all pumped about, you tend to get really excited about.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Totally. Okay. Well, speaking of getting pumped, Gons, I think it's time we have a party.
Is it party time?
I think it is.
It is party time. Go to canarycry.party. Put it in your URL.
Party time.
You'll find a tree of links that leads to everything from where to listen to the show, watch the show, how to produce the show, how to connect with us and the community.
Welcome to Canary Cry Party. It's the place you wanna be.
Yeah. Did I lose, Basil?
No, that's your thing.
Okay.
Oh, it is my thing.
No, it's usually your thing, but I have been doing it.
I haven't gotten back into it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's fine.
I'm out of rhythm.
No, it's okay.
Yes, CanaryCry.party. Lots of great stuff there. You can listen to Ravel, which is taking a second to breathe while I am indisposed. But there's lots of awesome episodes over there exploring society, scripture, and scandal, having tough conversations in good faith. You should definitely go listen to it. There's also links for Canary Cry clips. Unfortunately, they got us again, Gons, over there at the Canary Cry Clips channel on YouTube, which is all the more reason to go subscribe. But we're also on Odyssey, and you should definitely go subscribe to Canary Cry Clips on Odyssey. It's this show, but it's all clipped up into tiny bite-sized pieces, shareable, careable pieces that you can review information and share it with your friends. Canary Cry Clips. Check it out, baby. And last but not least, you can join the text message alert system by texting the word Canary to 877-740-3226. That's Canary to 877-740-3226, and we'll send you a little notice before we go live, before every episode. It'll remind you that you need your daily dose of news media deconstruction. So go check it out. Get on all those fun things. There's all sorts of other stuff over there too. It's an endless supply of interesting links and resources for the discerning Canarian. And with that, Gons, I think it's time to thank some producers.
It's break time.
That's right, folks. You know it. You love it. It's the value for value system. We take no corporate money whatsoever. Not just because, playing ads is annoying or something. Not just to save you the pain of having to hit your skip button when an ad comes on, but also the very existence of corporate money getting involved with independent media, especially if it's news media, deconstruction and analysis, is simply antithetical to the way that the world is going and should be going, at least when human beings are at the forefront of the concern about these things. Corporate money has done nothing. It's done some things, but on the list of things that it has done, it has made it incredibly difficult for any dissenting opinions or unpopular ideas to exist in a way that are, that they could affect anything. But it turns out, if you entirely refuse to get wrapped up in the game of corporate money supporting your independent media, turns out you can survive. And it's called the value for value model. Because when people get value from what you do and they understand that corporate money getting involved is really... You may not notice it on the first day or the first episode or the second or the third, but it's just a matter of time before that corporate money gets connected to corporate control of the message. And that's not what we want here, folks. So we're on the value for value model, and our producers keep us going, and we are so appreciative of that. We thanked executive producer Sir Captain Redbeard, Pirate King of the Demoochers, earlier, but Gons, we did have another executive producer come in.
Ooh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, we did. And I want to thank them.
Executive producers.
That's right. The executive producers are those who come in and support the show in ways that, others may not be able to. They carry a heavy load, and we are so grateful for them. I want to thank... Give me 1 second. Just making sure that I read all the things that I should read and don't read the things that I shouldn't read. Yes, here we go. Okay, I'm going to do it right now.
Do you need me to stall? This is like a stall.
Yeah, here we go. I got it. This is from Spiritually Minded.
Thank you, Spiritually Minded.
Thank you, Spiritually Minded, for, I'm sorry, that's executive producer Spiritually Minded. And there's a note here. Says, "Hey guys, I have sent over some producer dollars just now, but there is no place to leave a message, so here I am. Hope it makes it to you. Much love and blessings to you both." And there is, let's see here. There's also there's a signature and a thing here that says, "Let's not merely say that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our actions." And it looks like they have either a business or some sort of creative project here, but it's not clear if they want that read. So let me know, spiritually minded, and we'd love to, get out there, whatever you need to get out there. And they come in with one. Oh, you know what I don't have is the PayPal open. So I'm going to read the number, and the number, not supposed to read the number because I don't know what the real number is. Okay, now stall, Gons.
Oh, you want me to stall now? Okay.
Now I want you to stall.
Do we have a note from
the stall jingle?
Oh, I do. Well, yes, I do have the stall jingle.
Oh yeah,
Stall for 5 seconds. Here you go.
Perfect timing. It always works. It does not clear up anything for me, but I will say, came in with 183.57 or 175.02. Not sure which of those is the correct one, but there you go. The one is minus the fees. But no matter what, thank you very much, Spiritually Minded. Executive producer, Spiritually Minded.
Oh, thank you very much.
Where'd you find this?
Okay, well, we got a few other producers to thank. Let's do that now, starting with Raul S.
Thank you, Raul S.
Yeah, Raul S. came in with the 33.33 plus fees, and 33.88. So 2 separate ones.
Yeah.
And a note here: one day I went to the supermarket and had to pay exactly 33.33. This is in euros. Later that evening, I went back and now had to pay 33.88. A couple of days after, it came up as 33.33 again. Also, many products were 33% off. Probably a coincidence. Then it's kind of like a nervous laugh emoji. God bless all Canarians, grace all Canarians, and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians 1:3. Hey, you know what, Raul? When you get a message, you listen up and you respond accordingly, and I think you did a wonderful job. Thank you very much, producer Raul S.
Thank you, Raul S. Appreciate it.
Next up, we've got producer Tammy C.
Tammy C.
Yeah, Tammy C coming in with $12 and says, "Love you guys. Want to do my part to keep you afloat. You're doing it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very
Tammy.
much, producer Tammy." Next up, we have Sir Alex Protocol V2, Night of the Berean Protocol, on a 90-episode streak.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tammy. Oh, sorry. Sir Alex Protocol V2 has a note, says, "It is Wednesday, my dudes."
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Got it in early. God bless. Pocket full of sevens.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we got Sir Moore of Night of the Burning Chariots, 153 episodes in a row. Came in with 11.11.
11. Thank you, Moore.
And a note that says WMD.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
Let's see. That, I believe, concludes that part of the list, which are the producers who came in the amount of 777 or more, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. We got some people coming in under that amount, and we are going to thank them now, starting with Sir Casey the Shield Knight, 220 episodes in a row.
Oh yeah, Streakalicious.
Streakalicious. We're gonna need to We're going to need to get that 223
yeah, it's coming up.
Jingle.
Real
coming
close.
In. We got 223 is the next streak jingle. It's the 322 Skull and Bones backwards. So if any jingle producer out there is looking for some inspiration, maybe get some sort of Skull and Bones quote or something and just play it backwards.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Bush Jr. saying, Skull and Bones, secret. The secret.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we got Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. I think there's a little mix-up. I think he's on a 208 episode streak.
Oh yeah, streakalicious.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
I think you had put 209, Gons. Just checking in case I had missed something, but I think it's 208.
Okay, got it.
Wait, no, it is 209.
Yep,
You're right.
That's right.
He's 11. He's 11 behind Sir
Story
Casey.
of my life, right?
Yeah.
Being told I'm wrong, and then...
Okay. Sir Darren, now to the Hungry Pandas. 60 episodes in a row. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Darren. It's a new streak jingle for Sir Darren.
Yep, we got Dame Gale, 185 in a row.
185, yeah.
Yep.
Wait, no. There we go.
Women rule.
I think we got Veronica D in there with 185 as well.
Women rule.
Thank you, Veronica D.
And we got Runk Smash with 5 episodes in a row.
5? Oh, he's on a streak. Thank you, Runk Smash.
Thank you very much, Runk Smash. Okay, I believe that concludes our list of financial producers. Thank you all so much for putting value back into the show. It's really the only way that we're able to continue. Without you, there would be no show. So thank you. And if you're out there, make sure to thank the good Lord above for these producers who are keeping your Canary Cry News Talk alive. And thank you for your patronage.
Shut up and take my money. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
And I think it's a good time to remind you, you can still produce the show over at canarycryradio.com/support.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
canarycryradio.com/support.
And I think it's time to get back to the show.
It's time to wake up, and it's time to say goodbye to YouTube. That's a thing.
Yes.
So if you're on YouTube, the 117 people watching live right now.
Yeah, let's take a second. Let's help them out. Okay. Let's help them out and hit them with a Rockfin link here.
Okay.
It's rockfin.com/ccnt. And I'm going to pop it into the chat for you. I know you YouTubers, you need things as easy as possible. So there's that link. Just follow that. You can also find us on Rumble. You can find all the links either in the email that is inside your email box right now or by going to canarycry.party. We will not be streaming the rest of the show on YouTube because it simply is too hot for YouTube.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Go to Twitch, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. You can find all those links at canarycry.party as well. Too hot for YouTube.
YouTube. Now you see me. Now you don't.
It's Corona time. COVID-19. 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 Coronavirus. Vaccine. I am vaccine. Vaccine, number one way.
Okay, guns.
Yeah.